was really good. He had way too much time to throw. Way too much time to throw. Ramon Stevenson, 8 carries, 51 yards as well. Travion Henderson went out of the game with an injury. Stevenson finished up. Stevenson's not bad back as well. 8 for 51. He had more carries after the injury. Good speed that he has. Ravens' run defense isn't too bad, I don't think. That's kind of what they're doing, I see, with these offensive linemen. So there's no Matabuke. So they kind of just move Travis Jones to the outside, move John Jokins to the nose, and just kind of hope for the best there and to see if they can, at least stop the run. It's really struggling with the pass rush, though. Again, Stephon Diggs, former Maryland Terp. I was really pushing for him to be a Raven. He's still good. He's still good. Maybe not the receiver he once was in terms of the speed where he could just really run past people, but he really understands really tough stuff. Didn't want to come out of the football game in this one. Didn't want to go into the tent, sneaking out of the tent and all that other stuff. So Stephon Diggs, he's a dog. I love Stephon Diggs as a player as well. I think and he's definitely on the right team for him to get the volume of passes. Very young receiving group as well. Matt Collins is there. The Boots, he's the guy. He's the guy that can help Drake May. This is one of the better football players, I think, not talked about in the league, Christian Gonzalez. He had 7 tackles. He had really good coverage on everybody in this game, really, except Zay Flowers. Everybody else, he really gained the boost. Every time they tried Bateman or anybody else, Christian Gonzalez was all over. Big, tall, lean guy. This New England defense is good, even still considering the injuries they had. Let's talk about Lamar. 7 for 10, 101. No TDs and interceptions. Got to talk about Tyler Huntley. 9 for 10, 65 yards as well. My commentary was, in the offseason, there better be, and I said this on the instant reaction, there better be a Tyler Huntley extension in the offseason. There better be a Tyler Huntley extension in the offseason as Lamar's backup. So definitely, they lost this game, but not because of their backup quarterback situation. Tyler Huntley actually played well. Why they lost the game, Derrick Henry, 18 for 128, 2 TDs. You got to be kidding me, no Derrick Henry in the last series. I don't even understand that. Why didn't touch the ball the last quarter of the game, pretty much. I mean, the last 12 minutes. What that makes that's not good coaching. That's bad coaching. That's just bad. Especially look at the numbers he's already got. 18 carries, 128 as well. I've kind of said this, and I've said this many, many times on this podcast. I'm going to say it one more time tonight. John Harbaugh does not like bell cow. As much as he in the press conference tried to say it was Willie Taggart in our schedule and blah, blah, blah. I've seen this with every coach he has. He's hiring. He doesn't like to seem yell at his coaches or call out his coaches for the most part. But what he likes to do is hire coaches, and this is anybody hiring in a business. You hire people with the same thinking that you have, right? And so, he doesn't want an OC that wants a bell cow. He wants an OC. He wants a running back coach. He wants these guys who's going to rotate. And that's exactly what happened. But my goodness, I mean, Chris Collinsworth, shout out Chris Collinsworth calling that out during the broadcast, and everybody was talking about it, and they were talking about, it was because it was obvious. You didn't play Derrick Henry, and it might have cost you the football game there. So, inexcusable coaching there. Zay Flowers, shout out to Zay Flowers, making his second Pro Bowl. He's going to have over 1,000 yards for his second straight season. So, I always said the Ravens would never get a really good receiver in the long term unless they drafted one and developed one, and they certainly have one now with Zay Flowers. A lot of more people are on Bateman and D-Hop. I got no problem with either one of those guys. None. They're just not throwing the ball a whole lot. Stop throwing the ball a whole lot. I think some of that is the problems with the offensive line. They've had to put Kolar in. You've had to put Kolar and Isaiah Likely, you've had to have more blocking and Ricard, so you're taking wide receivers off the field and you're giving them less opportunities. And so when they are on the field, Zay Flowers is the main guy. He's getting most of them. So that's what's going on there. Roquan with 10 tackles. Shout out to him again, making another Pro Bowl as well. Roquan's been good the last second half. Ever since that injury he had early in the year and he came back, Roquan has been really good. So definitely shout out to Roquan Smith, 10 tackles, but again, not enough in the loss here. This was just purely, I think, just not change might be needed here. I definitely don't like calling for coaches. I mean, I think like people forget all this fire Harbaugh stuff, but you know, I don't care what anybody says. These are still human beings. So I don't take that like I mean on this podcast, I take that very seriously. I don't really enjoy saying you know, we got to fire the coach, we got to do that, we got to call for your job, blah, 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 blah. But that was just bad coaching. There's just no, that was just bad coaching, not putting Derrick Henry in the game. It's bad coaching, leaving Falele in the game to do that. Bateman, and you got two good receivers, Bateman and D-Hop, you can't even get them on the field like that because you got to put in because you're leaving because you're so determined to leave Falele in. That's bad coaching. And when a guy's been around 18 years and probably missing the playoffs, we don't know yet, most likely, change might be needed. And we'll see how that goes as well. Real quick on New England. I didn't think anything different in New England. This is a very good New England Patriots team, very well coached. They looked like a Belichick team. Josh McDaniels. I think this guy may go down as one of the best offensive, as bad as he is as a head coach, one of the better offensive coordinators in the history of the NFL. The way he's been able to go ahead and now this is his third quarterback, really making him look really good. So we will see 28-24. Ravens could have won this game, easily could have won this game, but you know, that's the way it went. And so, not dead yet. Going to the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. Ravens now with that 7-8 losing record, going against the Green Bay Packers as well. Long time ago, people used to think I wear a Green Bay packaging. So apparently the packaging business is big in Green Bay. So definitely the Packers are probably on the outside looking in themselves. They have a better shot to get into the playoffs, 9-5-1. They're going to need this one and have issues of their own. Still trying to get in. Right now, I think they're like a 7th seed. I'd have to look it up. But to get in the playoffs as well. But definitely they're going to need these last 2 weeks, some success. Ravens are still alive. So Ravens scenario, they have to win this week, and the Browns have to upset Pittsburgh. So next Sunday, if that happens, you're going to get a one-game showdown in Pittsburgh, a winner-take-all, where the winner gets in the playoffs and wins the division, the loser goes home. That's if both of those scenarios happen. So the Ravens do have to win. Now, in this game, they may have to do it without their fearless leader, Lamar Jackson, in this one. So, as usual, they're saying, well, we don't know what's going to happen. Lamar's going to try and be out there. I'm thinking it's Tyler Huntley. Definitely looking at the presser and the press conference today, Huntley was taking a lot of questions. That kind of tells me, like, there was that Lamar there. They kind of keep it close to the vest always. But I'm kind of thinking it's Lamar, it's Tyler Huntley. I'll address the Lamar situation, Preston, and all that after I go over the game here. But I'm thinking Huntley's going to play. Derrick Henry, he's got to be angry about what happened last week. Knowing Derrick Henry, watching him for all these years with the Titans, such an intense guy I'm just very, very surprised that they just took him out of the game last week, especially with the season he's been having. He did fumble last week. I'm still thinking he's a little bit in John Harbaugh's doghouse, so much as nobody likes saying that. But I do think that is true. I do think he's kind of in the Harbaugh doghouse a little bit. That's kind of why. Now, they didn't say that, but that kind of would be an explanation about why he didn't play other than a rotation. To me, that makes more sense that he was kind of upset by the fumble. On the broadcast, they kind of alluded to that too. You know, why aren't you playing more? Well, I got to do it better myself, blah, blah, blah. And this is the announcers talking about when they talk to Derrick Henry in the production meetings. They say, I got to do better, blah, blah, blah. That kind of lends me to think that he's in the doghouse. This is not just a John Harbaugh thing. I don't care who it is. Coaches do not like running back to fumble. It's a good way to sit for 2-3 games. I've seen Harbaugh sit a guy for 2 or 3 games here as well. Zay Flowers is going back to the Pro Bowl. Again, he coughed up the ball in the New England game as well. Sometimes he's just doing too much. Sometimes I think he's just doing too much. I think Zay is really, really good as well. I think he's probably been your best offensive player this season. No question about it. So Zay really is a really good quarterback, really good wide receiver, rather, as well. Great speed, 2 touchdowns as well. Great touchdown pass catch from Lamar in that one early in the game, right down the sideline. So, again, as well, I don't think we're going to see Lamar in this game as well. Kyle Hamilton, 51 tackles on the year, 1 sack. Some are saying we need to see more from Kyle Hamilton. Again, shout out to Kyle going to the Pro Bowl. I think this is the best safety in the league. This is the best safety in the league. I got no problem. I got pretty much no problem. We would like to see a few more splash plays from him, etc. I think part of it is the pass rush is so bad that they're keying up on him more than they could if they had, you know what I'm saying, they have Kyle Hamilton, because he's basically been playing linebacker like for a lot of this thing, playing linebacker, maybe nickel corner a lot of times. Like he really hasn't been playing traditional safety. That's been going to Alohi Gilman and Malachi Starks in this one. It does look like Jordan Love practiced today. Malik Willis didn't practice, so we're not completely sure. But he did practice today, so I'm thinking we're going to get Jordan Love in this game. Love is, I think, one of the better quarterbacks in the league. At times, he seems to take a day off. At times, he does. But 33, 81, 23 touchdowns, 6 INTs. So Jordan Love, I think, is one of the better cornerbacks. I think better quarterbacks in the NFC, certainly going into the playoffs. It's good to have a Jordan Love actually on your team. Josh Jacobs, I think the numbers don't do it justice, and I think he's got some good numbers. But 13 touchdowns is what everybody should be looking at there with him. This guy, I think, just runs over people. I think sometimes your game of football, you oversimplify, you know, we overcomplicate things or we overdo things. This guy just runs over people, period. Takes 5 steps. Kind of reminds me of a lesser version of a Derrick Henry, kind of like a old school named Barry Word. I think he lives in the area here in the Shenandoah Valley and played for the Kansas City Chiefs. But he just runs over people. Just runs over people. He's got some shifting. He's got some breakaway once he gets in the open field. But basically, there's nothing fancy at all about Josh Jacobs. Runs over people. Great in the red zone. 926, should be going over 1,000 yards possibly in this game or in the last 2 games if he plays. Christian Watson, I think, is a number 1 receiver when healthy, in my opinion. I think like the receiving core is very interesting for Green Bay. Romeo Doubs, Jalen Reed, etc. They're all really good, but a lot of them, they just spend a lot of time on the shelf unnecessarily. But this guy is the main guy. Did play last week, which did surprise me considering the injury he had. So he's going to be ready to go. If I'm the Ravens, I'm not sure you're going to have a Woozier in this game, but definitely I'm putting Nate Wiggins on this guy here. because I think that is huge. Rashawn Gary is the guy, your main guy, once again, now that Micah Parsons is out. Fan in the pan. Appreciate it, fam. Thank you, sir. So I do think Rashawn Gary is the main guy on there without Micah Parsons. That's a big loss. That's a big loss. The Packers, I think, with Micah Parsons, possibly are Super Bowl ready this year. Without him, that's a big difference as well. Also, too, I've seen it a couple times that he gets handled pretty regularly with Roger Rosengarten plays him. So that's kind of how they know that Roger Rosengarten was ready to start in his rookie year because he did so well against Rashawn Gary. Gary's a good pass rusher, but I think he's better with Parsons on the other side to tilt the field. So keying up on him, I don't think the Packers have great pass rush without Micah Parsons. X Factor in this game. Emory Jones as well. We could get Emory Jones for the first time in a whole game. Andrew Voorhees missed practice today, so he was limited. So we will see about if we get Emory Jones a full game. I'm hoping we do. I'm hoping we get to see Emory Jones in this game. Shout out to John Jenkins, 105 years old. Not really, but 37, I think, something like that. Definitely, we know what he does. He stops the run. I think that's going to be huge when you're playing a Josh Jacobs up the middle in the defense. So we know Travis Jones is going to play well. And we know Travis Jones is going to play well. They don't really pass the rush, but you get John Jones stopping the run. That's definitely the guys they've been bringing up for practice squad. It's been for stopping the run. And I think the Ravens definitely put an emphasis on it. So that'll be the difference in the game as well. So Ravens 9-5. This game also to Saturday night football as well. This game 27th on Peacock, not NBC. So I think this is the Peacock live stream exclusive. This is not, I don't think it's on the main or it's on the channel. So for those of you Baltimoreans, DC people, I don't think it'll be on channel 2, channel 4. It'll just be on the streaming service as well. For me, that's how I watch all the games anyway. So 7 o'clock, so 8 o'clock Saturday night at Peacock as well in the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. All right. So there you go. Let's talk about the article that came out today. I'm gonna talk about this real quick. So there was an article that came out today, and shout out to Purple Rain Podcast. Shout out to them. I saw it on there. The Mike Preston, the Mike Preston article saying that that came out, and I didn't read that. To be fair, I didn't read the whole thing. I only saw the inserts on the podcast, so I'm gonna be fair and say it. But I've seen it reported in several places about Lamar Jackson sleeping at the facility, sleeping in meetings, staying up all night playing video games, being overall immature, et cetera, et cetera. Heard that a couple places today. There was a Nick Wright tweet about it as well, kind of saying some of those. I almost don't even feel the need to respond to that in some ways, but I'm going to respond to it because this is what happens when you're losing. This is what happens in business when you're losing, right? When you are winning in life, you get a pretty girl or you on each arm, you get money, you get this, you're doing all these things, you get a lot of things. Start losing, and then you see who your friends are, and you see what happens, and some of these people go away, and they're not talking to you. You have a lot of these things, and that's what's going on right now. I think it's totally ridiculous that Lamar's up all night playing video games. That's just insane. This was the guy that demanded they were taken out of the out of the facility. So that doesn't make any sense to me. The other part, Lamar's faking his injury. Again, I don't know this for a fact, but I'm going to tell you my opinion, informed opinion, watching for 30 plus years. Look, Lamar's hurt. Lamar couldn't even stand up at the locker. I think every time he's been injured, he's been injured. What's going on is the Ravens aren't exactly disclosing these injuries. And it could be Lamar agreeing with that, but they're just not disclosing these injuries. So people thinking that he's not hurt. They had all these injuries. They're saying, well, it's just, and this was a neck. This was I don't think it was neck. I think it was, well, he had a back. He had a foot. He had all this stuff. Well, and we're not. What you do is to say it's not a lie, quote unquote, is it's football, right? So, like, I could have hurt my elbow in a game and just put me on a report for an elbow. That means his elbow's not bothering him. But that's not the main thing. Lamar's had basically been playing this whole season with a hamstring. That's what's wrong. And that's why he's having so much trouble here as well. So, and I'm going to say this. The Baltimore Banner has been running circles as far as I'm concerned around the Sun paper as well. And Mike Preston, this guy is just so negative all the time. I don't know what to say. I mean, it clearly to me sounded like a situation where the Ravens want to get some more leverage or want to get money back, or I don't understand. I could get on the mainstream media and what people don't trust and all that, but it's just, take that with a grain of salt. That's what I would say. Take that with a grain of salt, Raven fans and all that. But the bigger point I want to make is this is what happens when you lose. This is what happens when you're 7-8, 13-3. Ravens with 13-3, this stuff wouldn't be coming out. Same way Tucker all of a sudden has all these problems. He misses 10 field goals. So keep that in mind. All right, big